I also thank both Inspector General Roth and Ms. Odom for appearing today. The degree of independence that you both have strengthens your ability to be an advocate for the public interest. Last Thursday, this hearing was officially noticed as Leadership Challenges at the Department of Homeland Security. The Department of Homeland Security certainly has several leadership challenges that I want to discuss. For instance, I still want to know why, despite the United States Secret Service's Protected Mission Panel recommendation, the Secret Service still has not brought someone from the outside the agency into its leadership. However, I see from press releases the title now includes allegations of improper influence regarding special visas. On Tuesday, the Inspector General publicly released the results of an investigation into employee complaints about management of the investor visa program managed by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, better known as the EB-5 program. The report centers around Deputy Secretary Mayorkas's efforts when he was Director of USCIS. For the purposes of background, the EB-5 program accounts for less than 1% of all visas issued by USCIS. Nonetheless, the EB-5 program potential as a job creator gives its visibility to congressional leaders from across the political spectrum. On average, USCIS is contacted over 1,500 times per year about specific cases. I'm sure that those communications did not come from just one office or one party. Yet, for years, the EB-5 program, like many USCIS programs, has well-documented management issues and challenges that demand action. In the absence of congressional action to address the wide range of woes this program faced, Mr. Mayorkas, while the Director of USCIS, took on those challenges. I have read the Inspector General's report, find it instructive insofar as it is a window into Deputy Secretary Mayorkas's leadership style. The picture that emerges in this report is of an activist manager who demanded reform and responsiveness from his agency. It seems that at times, Mayorkas's style made employees feel uncomfortable. This is unfortunate, and I'm sure that Mr. Mayorkas, if he were here today, would express regret about that. I commend Inspector General Roth for taking a hard look at the charges leveled by those whistleblowers. I hope that the Inspector General will come to take such action when whistleblowers are involved. However, I regret, Mr. Chairman, that the headlines and news accounts about these reports are not in line with the Inspector General's actual findings. Mr. Chairman, a man's reputation is at stake. Before we jump to conclusions and join the bandwagon of media reports, we must be responsible. For the record, the Inspector General did not find that Deputy Secretary Mayorkas broke any laws. Instead, the Inspector General acknowledges that Deputy Secretary Mayorkas and the USCIS personnel recognize the risk to the program if benefits were granted without transparency and were not adjudicated according to statute, regulations, and existing policy. In fact, the report explicitly states that the decisions made by Mr. Mayorkas were legitimately within his purview. And despite news accounts of political favoritism, the Inspector General also did not find that a single adjudication in question was improperly decided. The report did, however, find a wide range of resentment within the component. Unfortunately, resentment toward management and low morale is not an anomaly at DHS. Consequently, Mr. Chairman, it is a fair question to ask if the hands-on, reform-minded leadership style that Deputy Secretary Mayorkas seems to have exhibited here is what DHS needs to address its long-standing management and operational challenges. It is also fair, as Secretary Johnson has indicated, to look into the protocols of the program and see what changes can be implemented, including changes in the law that Congress could enact. Mr. Chairman, I want to remind you that just 2 days ago in this hearing room, former Speaker Gendrich urged us as members of Congress to stop being obstructionists and work together, especially in the interest of security. What is unreasonable, Mr. Chairman, is to degrade Deputy Secretary's integrity and reputation. I hope that it is not what we are here to do. I hope that today we can receive testimony and gain more insight to both the program and Inspector General's finding. I also hope that at a future hearing, we can have the Deputy Secretary testify on the reforms he made at USCIS and the changes he is making at the Department of Homeland Security, and how we can truly address the leadership challenges at DHS. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.